Welcome to 1000 PS, welcome to beautiful Portugal, welcome to the equally beautiful, very stunning XSR 900 GP from Yamaha. New bike for 2024, even though it looks like something from the early 90s. So let me run you through some facts and details. .93 Newton meters or 68 foot-pounds of torque at 7,000 RPM, 87.5 kilowatts of power or 117 bhp. Now the first kind of XSR turned up in 2006, and from then the retro era of Yamahas, falling back to the iconic time of the late 80s and early 90s, has been a huge success. We've seen a huge variety of bikes, and this is the latest model to come from Yamaha in 2024. Obviously, it's based on the XSR 900, but it's also got a little bit of MT09 and MT09 SP. So this is not a race bike, even though it looks like something from the 90s in a race bike. This is a road bike designed for the road, not for the track. Suspension is kind of like next generation or the next grade up from KYB. Fully adjustable suspension, front and rear, but we've got high and low speed compression. Got a nice, easy remote preload on this side. Because of the riding position, because the rider is further forward, because we've got lower bars and a higher seat, the forks are slightly stiffer, the rear shock is slightly softer because of the weight bias and the weight movement. 6-axis IMU controlling all the rider aids, that's derived from basically the R1, and with that we've got cornering ABS, we've got slide control, traction control, lift control, we've got a quick shifter that works up and down, we've got cruise control, and we've got a new system where we control the engine braking on the brakes. As mentioned, braking has improved a little because we've got a new Brembo on top. Discs are the same, calipers are the same, and we've got cornering ABS. All those rider aids can be changed when you're on the modes because we've got 3 different modes: sport, street, and rain. And then we've got 2 custom modes. And if you want, you can turn those modes off, you can turn them on, you can navigate the dash. Pretty simple to operate, pretty simple to use. Initially, I didn't think it was that intuitive, but then after maybe half a day, I kind of clicked with it. I kind of was like, oh, okay. And cleverly, Yamaha fitted the sat-nav connected to the phone that was underneath the seat, so we could flick between navigation and just using conventional clocks. Quick shifter is changeable, traction control is changeable, slide control, everything is changeable. If you switch off anything, it's then off in all modes. So for example, I switched off the lift control for obvious reasons, but then that means the lift control is off in every mode. So you can't have no lift in, say, street and then have it in rain. If it's off, it's off. Personally, for me, I prefer to ride in street because I just like the softer fueling delivery rather than the sports mode. Sports mode is a little bit jerky, especially on the route we've done here in Portugal. To be fair, the route in Portugal hasn't been the best. It was a little bit bumpy, a little bit slow, quite a lot of traffic. So that's all the technical stuff and all the kind of gibbings about rider modes, technical bits, what's changed, what hasn't changed, is it Euro 5 plus, and all the rest of it. But to be honest, I don't really care about all that bit, because what I care about is how this bike makes me feel and how it looks. And because I'm from a generation who remembers how Yamaha dominated MotoGP on that 2-stroke era, late 80s, early 90s. And because I grew up wanting bikes like TZR 250s, I wanted a FZR 600. And one of my first bikes was an FZ 600 with a half fairing, a 4-stroke 600. If you get a chance, Google it. It's an old thing, but I loved it, and that's what I grew up in. I was a teenager with no worries, with an Iron Maiden t-shirt. I had a mullet, long hair. I think I used to smoke. I had no cares, I had no worries, and that's what motorcycling was, and I loved it. And that's what I grew up on. So when I look at this, I go, yeah, that reminds me of what it's like. And the other great bit is, it's a great bike, like those bikes were. Yeah, you've got all these rider aids and technological, and I can have Bluetooth connectivity, and somebody can text me and I can read it, but I don't want that. I just want to get on a bike and ride it, and that's what you can do with this. It makes you feel nostalgic, but it sounds great. It's got great power, it's got great torque, it's got great delivery, it's got a kind of predictable, stable chassis. It makes me smile when I see it, and it makes me smile when I ride it. For Yamaha to put retro, cool looking bodywork on an XSR 900 kind of MT-09 hybrid was going to be a no-brainer. It was always going to work because those two bikes are great and that era was great. You put the two together, whoever thought of that at Yamaha needs a pay rise because these are going to sell by the absolute bucket load. In the UK, they're £12,500, which I don't think is a huge amount of money to ask for such a nice bike. There are a few little niggles, a few little negatives. The weird kind of indicator, one touch off indicator is a little bit awkward. It takes a bit of weird getting used to. There isn't an end can, which I just think is a little bit weird. The exhaust is kind of hidden underneath. And on the roads today, I would actually soften the suspension a little bit. I'd just open it up a little bit. It's a little bit hard on the front, but as I say, the road hasn't been the greatest. We've been averaging like 60 to 70 kilometers an hour. We've not had a chance to really let it loose. We did get the opportunity to have a bit of a play at Estoril, where we could turn off the anti-lift and pull some wheelies and have some fun and some knee down. And it's stable, it's predictable. It's not the wheelie bike the MT-09 was, an XSR, because the wheelbase is longer, we've got more weight over the front, but it's still wheelies. Sounds really good. The handling is very predictable. The ABS is not too intrusive, although when the ABS does kick in, you get those annoying indicators flashing. But as I say, it is what I expected it to be because it's a combination of retro styling with a brilliant bike like the XSR and the MT-09. It's a brilliant engine, brilliant chassis, and it looks and it sounds awesome. Is it going to be a big hit? For me, definitely. Do I want to see this in my garage? Definitely. It's one of those bikes that I'd probably go out to the garage to fetch something and I'd end up staring at the bike for half an hour and the wife and kids had wondered where I'd gone. It's one of those bikes you would park up and all your phone is just going to be full of pictures of the bike, no longer pictures of the wife and kids anymore. It's just going to be pictures of this bike. It reminds me of that golden era of Yamaha, as I say, when I had the FZ600. And it's difficult to put a price and a value on this. In the UK, Yamaha dealers were taking orders of this bike before the price was announced. If you want to get one, you need to run to your Yamaha dealer sharpish because they're going to be selling out fast. Really impressive bike, not as radical as I thought it would be. Do I want one? Yes. Can I afford one? Probably not because I'm a tight northerner. But if Yamaha want to lend me one for a year, I'll be more than happy to take it.